Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones, and I'm going to get to it. I'm going to call this video Don't Date Cray Cray. Again, the title of this video is Don't Date Cray Cray. Now, let me give you a little background on what I'm doing. Now, of course, I was supposed to do a live stream tonight. I decided I wasn't going to do a live stream tonight. It's because I don't have enough people that want to support my live streams, and I do a lot of psychological content. I don't do trending topics. So, what I'm going to do from here forward, I will do live streams every Wednesday like I normally do, and I'm going to do pre-recorded content. But you got to support it. I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about sharing the videos, and I'm talking about participating on my panels because I'm one individual. I'll put the link out early, and I want to have a discussion. So in place of the live stream tonight, you're just going to get me talking on a pre-recorded video. And this little joker here, the Travelocity Gnome. Saw it on Amazing Race. Thank you, Tommy Jean, for that. Looks like a Santa Claus, but collect little items like that. But moving on. Dealing with Cray Cray. The video that I'm going to present to you is from a show that I watch on TLC called I Want a Mama's Boy. Now, I Want a Mama's Boy is basically the reciprocal of Smother. Now, with Smother, what you have is, I call it a sister-daughter type relationship. I mean, the mothers and daughters are hanging out together as if the mother and daughter were girlfriends. They're going to the same club. They're going to the same restaurants. They're even meeting the same guys. They're even taking showers together. They're even lotioning each other up. And if you don't believe me, watch Smothered on TLC. And, you know, if you're a guy trying to date the sister daughters, it's going to be very difficult because if the daughter gets a boyfriend, the mother's going to interfere. And if the mother gets a boyfriend, the daughter's going to interfere. You see how that works? Don't date individuals who are clingy to their mothers or anyone else. Well, you're going to find the same thing when it comes to Smothered. Now, this trio that I'm going to talk about lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Lena is the mother, the son's name is Shakib, and the girlfriend's name is Emily. Now, Shakib and Lena are of Middle Eastern descent, whereas Emily is of Korean descent. Now, the problem that I have had with Emily on this show is she's been very selfish. She likes to blame other people for her own mistakes. She's very delusional. And here's why. She's expecting a big wedding, but hasn't earned a big wedding. And she wants her boyfriend to buy her a $40,000 ring before they can get married. Well, he gave her a ring, but she didn't like it. Now, this Emily woman is about 26 years old. She's cray cray. I mean, when I watched I Love a Mama's Boy, Emily, Kimberly, and there were some other women on here that were cray cray. They were all about themselves. And when I hear these girls, these modern girls, that's what I call them. They're not women, they're modern girls. They talk about I'm not your mother, so I'm not going to cook for you. Automatically, if a woman says she's not going to cook for a man, don't even take her out. Don't even try to have sex with her. I don't care how hard, hot, and horny you get, guys. Leave her alone. Some of these women are crazy. Some of these women are, in my humble opinion, schizo. Some of them are bipolar. You should ask, what medication are you taking? Because there are a number of women out here who have a lot of mental health issues. Yes, there are men out here who have mental health issues too. But a number of women out here, check that medicine cabinet for medicines, because a number of them have some mental issues. They won't tell you. This is why I do my videos, so I can call out that behavior for you, because I guarantee, watch tonight's video, you may recognize this behavior. And like I do every week, I talk about psychology, behavior, emotion. Now, this Emily, who is 26 years old, in my humble opinion, she is very immature, very delusional, selfish. She doesn't really understand relationship. She doesn't like, I can understand that Shakib is attached to his mother. Now, his mother doesn't want Shakib dating Emily because the mother sees something in Emily that Shakib doesn't see. But Shakib is trying to appease his mother and his girlfriend. And when you're a man, you should be seeing the signs of that woman that you're with. I don't care how much you love her. If she has some behavioral issues, you need to stop in your tracks and not even figure it out. Don't interact with this person because they may have other people in her life who have these issues as well. So when you watch the video, you watch for some craziness. Because at one time, Shakib and Emily, they were living in the same apartment together. The mom came over. The mom didn't even like the dogs. In fact, Shakib wanted to spend time with his mom in their apartment. He told Emily, hey, wait till I finish spending time with my mom before you come back. Well, she came back anyway. So right then and there, he gave her a simple instruction. She didn't follow it. And the reason why Shakib told Emily to come back as soon as he finishes talking with his mom, because Lena, who's the mom, and Emily didn't get along. And the son is trying to explain to his mom about Emily. But the problem is the son is in denial himself. The son believes that Emily is good. But the mother sees something different. And when the mother sees something different, maybe the son should take heed. Now, the mother has done some ruthless tactics, like trying to set her son up with Yasser, which is a Middle Eastern girl, and she thinks Yasser is a better girl for Shakib, which is her son. Well, I understand where the mother is coming from, but the son is 31, 32 years old. The son should already figure that out. Mom has given the son way too much. And the mom, Lena, has a father. But again, you have to ask the question, why isn't the father in the picture? You see, the mother has gotten hands on this boy and has basically trained the boy to be a protector, but not trained the boy to be a provider and protector. And this is what's going on in the Black community. And it's not hard to figure out. A number of these sisters out here, the reason why they feel large and in charge, because they all want to be mamas. And if you're a brother and you're dealing with them, they're only going to treat you like you're a child. That's why they think they're better than you, because in their minds, you're a child. And then they treat each other like a child. And this is why you have some of the daughters of these moms even treating their moms like they're their mom's mom. They have an opinion. And when you have a village run by a lot of women, you're going to have a lot of chaos. This is what goes on with Black women. And this is why they're at the bottom of the dating poll. I'm not saying all of them, but there are a number of them because they're cray themselves. You see, they want the benefits of getting what a man gets without the responsibility. And a number of them are schizophrenic themselves. They're delusional. And if you don't believe me, you can go on Kendra G's show, and she has, shout out to Brother X, these old mamas on her show looking for men, especially there was a woman on there who had 8 kids. That's another video. 8 kids and looking for a man. Actually, she has 7, but an 8th child is on the way, and I believe by 4 fathers. But in this video from I Love a Mama's Boy, Emily, this woman looks like she's crazy. So she looks like she's crazy. You're going to see in her eyes, you have to follow the action of a number of these women. But I'm going to break it down what I see. So without further ado, what I'm going to go into, if I can find it, and let me go into here we go. Fair use, that's right. Well, under 17 USC 107, section 107, limitations on exclusive rights. That's fair use. And what that is federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107. Again, USC is United States Code. Now, that is out of the way. I'm going to present the video. Now, again, this video and this channel aren't monetized. I'm going to use this video as a teaching lesson. Don't date cray. Let me share my screen again. And here we go. And this time, let me add some sound. I apologize for being blurry, but it's the content that is going to matter. So, here we go.
I know that I messed up. I definitely know Layla feels disrespected.
Right there, that's the crazy girl right there. That's Emily. She knows she messed up. So what she's trying to do is come back, and she's messed up several times. And what she does is she's constantly apologizing. But you can apologize so much, but in the long run, are you fixing the problem? Are you sincere about your apology? Those are the questions that must be asked. Now, Shakib, it's the gentleman up here, he's driving. Again, if you want more on what I'm talking about, go watch I Love a Mama's Boy on a TLC channel. Let's continue.
She keep wanting me and Layla to get along, but I'm not sure what his plans are. She never wants to be around me, and she just thinks I'm the worst.
Well, she doesn't want to be around you because you cray. You threw her plants all over the place. You threw food all over the place. You disrespected her. You did not want to accept an engagement ring from the son because it wasn't $40,000. And you see marriage as a fantasy instead of a institution. That's the problem. So you're really not serious. So the mother doesn't like you because she doesn't believe that you're the type of woman for him because number one, you can't cook. Number two, you're not respectful and you're selfish. Let's continue.
Worst woman for Shakib.
It's kind of hard to reconcile everything with my mom and Emily when they're both having their own little agendas without me even knowing.
Well, Shakib, the problem with you is you just haven't seen the signs yet. You're trying to play peacemaker by appeasing your mother and appeasing your girlfriend. You don't know which way to go. You have a dad. Your dad didn't teach you what being a man is because your mom has done all the work. You as a man have to stand up. If you want this girlfriend, you're going to have to be a man and tell your mom, I want this girlfriend. Now, if it doesn't work, then mommy can come back and say, I told you so. So you have to make up your mind. Do you really want this woman? Or are you stringing her along? You as a man have to take charge. You have to lead. A number of men today raised by their mothers aren't leaders. That's a problem. In this video, you see this brother right here. This is Shakib. He doesn't even look confident. He doesn't have courage. He goes to the gym, but he's weak because his mother's taken over his soul. He's afraid of making his mother upset. Meanwhile, his girlfriend has turned into a crazy woman because his girlfriend doesn't believe that Shakib is paying attention to her. Now, you'll see what I'm talking about in a few minutes. This guy, Shakib, he has to learn how to be a man and stand his ground. Because if he doesn't, no matter what woman comes into his life, his mother is going to have the last word. So he has to be afraid. He can't be afraid to confront his mother. But right now, he is. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know where he wants to go. And his mom has done a lot for him, and he's 32 years old. And a man 32 years old should be grown and gone. Let's continue. Fair use.
So I didn't tell my mom that Emily was coming tonight because I didn't want to give her time to react. But I have a plan that can put an end to all.
Well, this is where Shakib doesn't understand truth. Shakib just sprung Emily up on his mother without the mother even knowing it. Now, if the mother had known what Shakib was doing, she wouldn't have allowed Emily over his house. Now, right then and there, this is a brother who's 32 years old and he has immaturity issues. And if the video is blurry, I apologize, but this is the best recording that we could get. What I'm here to do is explain to you some of the behavioral issues. Right now, Shakib doesn't have any confidence in himself. He's not disciplined by a man to be a man. He's very indecisive. You can't lead your home without knowing how to make a decision. Because if his mom passes and his dad passes, who's going to make the decision? He's got to make the decisions. But his mom is doing everything for him. His mom wants him to be back home with her. Now, on the other side, Emily, she's just plain selfish. You're going to watch more of this. Fair use.
This drama and bring the three of us closer together. This is my last ditch effort, and I really want to make this plan work. You should take off your shoes.
Are you kidding?
Huh?
Now, you see, there's the mom up there. You see, the mom didn't even know Emily was coming over. The mom doesn't like Emily. Now, I see the good intent that Shakib has for his mom by trying to get his mom and Emily to get along. But what you have is the son, he, in his mind, he's in the middle because the son doesn't really know how to control the issue. And it seems to me that both of these women, the mother and the girlfriend, have agendas. The mom is pulling the son one way, and the girlfriend is pulling the son another way. And what's happening? Shakib is confused. And you'll see more. Share use. Fair use.
Tom, hello. Give me a hug, man. Dorothy, how are you?
Good.
Emily,
What's going on?
say hi. Okay.
Hi. I was kind of shocked to see that face again.
Yeah, how are you doing? How you doing?
After the dinner, I was
Now, prior to this show, they had a dinner. Emily basically didn't tell the truth about cooking a dinner. The dinner was ordered. It was supposed to be some Middle Eastern food and some Korean food together because, of course, Emily is Korean, is Korean, and Shakib is Middle Eastern. Now, Emily has caused all kinds of dysfunction. This is why the mom doesn't like her. And this is why Emily is having a problem getting along with the mom for what she's done, being selfish. She's trying to make an amends with the mom, but the mom doesn't believe anything she does because she's apologized numerous times, but she wasn't sincere about it. And in the end, her behavior is going to dissolve this relationship. Fair use. Let's continue.
thought that we were done. Shikip, tell me what's going on. Yeah, why are we here?
Well, when I slept over here, I missed seeing you. This is home to me.
This is your home.
This is, I know.
Real home.
Yes. Since I slept over here, like I thought a lot about like.
Now, going back, you can see as I play it again,
This is,
I know.
real home.
Yes.
you can see
Since
him.
I slept over here, like I
You
thought
can see the
a lot about,
sadness.
like, you know, like life and
But
like,
don't
the
be
future
fooled
plans.
by those tears.
And you know,
This
me and Emily
woman,
have been dating for
Emily,
almost
has
4 years now.
basically
And
destroyed the relationship with her
the fact of the
own
matter is, you know,
behavior.
Emily's been
This
waiting.
is what a
You
normal
know, she's
woman
been waiting
do.
for approval from you.
Now look at
you
her
know,
eyes. Look
one
how
day she wants
crazy
to get
she
married.
looks. She
I don't
has
see
a look
myself
of being
starting over with
possessed.
someone else.
The succubus.
I'm happy where I'm at.
I
Now,
don't know, Shikip.
now the
You
mom,
make me upset.
the mom sees something in this girl
I don't know. I wonder why Shikip loves Emily.
that
What it comes to your mind? Are you crazy?
he doesn't.
After
Let's go back to the
everything that
mom
she been
again.
through, and it's still you trusted
At
her?
the 218.
I wonder why Shikip loves Emily. What it comes to your mind? Are you crazy? After
Mama, she's definitely crazy. And you're going to see some cray in a minute. This is not a woman you want around your house. You want you and your son to be in a situation where you are surviving. This type of woman And you'll see her behavior in a minute. I'm not going to tell you right now, but let's continue.
Everything that she went through, and still you trusted her?
If you guys really think about it, the reason why you guys don't even get along, because you barely spend any time together now.
Well, now he's talking about them not getting along because they don't spend time together. Well, in retrospect, they don't want to spend time together because Emily, from the mom's standpoint, is not good for her son. Now, what should have happened is the mom and the son should have met her mom, her family. Because right now it does look like everything is one-sided. And see, when you can see how both families operate, then you will have an idea of these two people living their lives together. Because they're two different cultures. You have a Korean culture and you have a Middle Eastern culture. But you have two people right now, Shakib and Emily, who are very stressed out. And to me, they're very immature. They have emotional instability. Now, Shakib knows how to be a little bit more calm and logical because he's trying to appease his mom. Emily, on the other hand, is a different case. And you're going to find out while I say, don't date Cray. Let's continue. Fair use.
I don't want to have no more difference between you
Look
and
at the mom.
It's like a never-ending cycle, mom.
The mom did
You
this.
can't just keep on doing it.
What do you expect from me?
It would be a great idea, and it's crazy enough to work, that we live together. You, me, and Emily live in one roof. It's gonna like.
Now, let me go back to about the 256 mark. Look at the eyes will tell you everything about a person. Look at the eyes.
And Emily.
Look at the eyes. Look at Emily's eyes. Look at the eyes.
It's gonna like bring us.
Those are eyes of somebody who's possessed. And if she had the hatchet in her hand, it would have looked like Friday the 13th on this video. Because that's how emotionally unstable Emily is. And the mom doesn't want to be around her because the mom is afraid that she's going to terrorize them. Especially her. She's 64 years old. But Shakib, the son, doesn't see any of this. He's trying to get those two to get along. And you're going to see how his plan works or backfires. Let's continue.
All together as one.
She, no. Are you serious?
Let me go back to the 306 mark here.
Bring us
Look at
all
the
together
eyes.
as one.
Watch the eyes. Look at her eyes.
She, no. Are you serious?
See, Emily she's already not feeling the comfort of being around the mom. And the mom, of course, looks a little horrified right now. Because you got this crazy woman in your house. You don't know what she's likely to do. She's immature. She's unstable. She's selfish. She's delusional. Yes, she and Shakib have been dating for 4 years. And there's been a lot of problems in their relationship. Some of it due to the mom. Some of it due to Shakib not standing up for her. But I don't believe in my mind that Shakib is ready for relationship. Not when his mom keeps butting in the relationship. Because no matter what girl comes into his life, his mom is going to be part of it. So every girl is going to feel like, in her mind, or every girl, I don't want to use the word feel, every girl is going to have this belief that she's dating Shakib and the mom when it's supposed to be her and Shakib. I can understand that. But any girl that comes into his life needs to understand how to take care of a household, how to cook. And these modern women, they just don't have any idea of what their role is. They're trying to, on one hand, play a man's role, and then when it's convenient, play a woman's role. And what happens? They don't know where they want to go. So they are caught with being indecisive. Let's continue. Well, that's called being indecisive. Correction. Let's continue.
Yeah. Ideally, I want everyone to just get along.
No.
Listen, hold on, calm down.
You see, he wants everybody to get along. She just said no. So she's not trying to cooperate. Now, again, they've been with each other for 4 years. And it seems like they're going in the wrong direction. And again, do I blame all this on the mom? The tactics that the mom uses, like setting her son up with another woman, that's a bad tactic. But the mom sees something in Emily that Shakib is not seeing. He can't figure this out. Now, I already have it figured out. The behavior. Now she's trying to let the tears out there. The princess syndrome. When they don't get their way, they throw temper tantrums. And again, what I'm doing, I'm actually giving you a picture of some of the behavior traits that I see. Fair use. Let's continue.
We just moved out. We literally just moved out. Are you like mentally stupid?
And she said, "Are you mentally effing stupid?" Look at the eyes. This woman is possessed. This woman is about to snap. Again, look at the eyes. Those are the eyes of somebody that's possessed. I'm not kidding. If she had a mask on, like Jason, she'd be ready to hack everything up. And that hatchet that brother had in that McDonald's, she'd have probably used that on him because of her immaturity and her emotional instability. Let's continue.
This is not going to work out with us.
No, never. Never.
Just bear with me, folks. I don't know what's wrong with the video. Let me take it back.
Stupid. This is not going to work out with us.
No, never.
You psychotic? Come back. You're gonna Emily back crazy. Emily,
You
stop.
doing this
Stop,
stuff,
stop,
I can
stop.
slap on your face. Get out of my
Let's
life.
celebrate.
What are you doing?
Let's celebrate.
All right, now, what you're going to see now, right around the 540, 546 mark, this is when it crazes. This right here is going to tell you whether this girl should be dating Shakib. Let's continue.
Let's celebrate.
Emily,
You
stop.
doing this
Stop,
stuff,
stop,
I can
stop.
slap on your face.
Fine.
Look, look at her. She's crazy. The craziness has already come out. She's near the mom. She's frightening the mom. She wants to slap the mom in her face. She's screaming. This is why the mom says she's cray cray. Guys, this is cray cray at its finest. You don't want to deal with somebody like this. You may wake up, your balls may be gone, your penis may be gone. Women like this, they will end your life because they're are very emotional. They're unstable. They're very frightening. And they're possessed. Watch. Fair use.
With you. Oh, get out of here. Move.
Emily, that crazy.
You heard what the son said? This woman is batshit crazy. But Shakib, you're dating this woman. Why are you dating this woman? Let me play that again. Let me go back to the 5:59 mark. Let me go back. Let's go back. Let me show you all some Cray Cray again. Let's review this.
Celebrate.
Emily,
You
stop.
doing this
Stop,
stuff,
stop,
I can
stop.
slap on your face.
Fine.
Oh, I'm not
Look at this.
here with you.
Would you like to have that in your face? It's like a monster. Somebody possessed. That's scary. That's cray cray. This is why I say don't date cray cray. Let's continue.
Oh, get out of here. Move.
Emily, that crazy.
You hear what the son said? Again, she said Emily is batshit crazy. She is. And this is now he probably sees it now. But this is why you have to watch the behavior traits of individuals that you're dealing with. They're not married, but I guarantee if something doesn't work her way, that's who she is. She just exposed herself. Let's continue.
Where are you going? Where are
I'm
you?
leaving, Steve.
Emily, stop. Are you psychotic? Come back.
Now watch her. She's going to jump or get close to jumping down one story. This woman is crazy. I'm telling you, it's frightening. But this is what's out here. And Shakib is now finding out what it is to be with somebody who's cray cray. Let's continue.
You're gonna fall and break your freaking foot.
Oh
Are you
boy.
possessed? Emily,
Look, did you hear what he said? Are you possessed? Are you possessed? Let's go back and run this
are
again.
you psychotic? Come back. You're gonna fall and break your freaking foot.
Oh
Are you
boy.
possessed? Emily, stop.
Did you hear what he said? Are you possessed? She is possessed. She is. She is. Let me run that back one more time. Show you all what I'm talking about. This is what happens when you deal with cray cray.
Come back. You're gonna fall and break your freaking foot.
Oh
Are you
boy.
possessed? Emily, stop.
She is possessed.
I'm leaving.
Oh,
Look at the mom. She is possessed. Let me run it back one more time so you'll know exactly where I'm coming from. When you deal with women, and of course, there are men out here, but I'm showing this clip for men because you might think looks are everything, but it's your behavior, your attitude, your personality are all linked. And if they're out of sync, it'll be like Snagglepuss, exit stage right. Because if you don't, you're going to be in a world of shit. And if he marries this woman, he's going to be miserable because the behavior coming out of this woman is already showing Shakib how unstable she is. She's already selfish because she looks at marriage from a romanticism standpoint. She's immature. She's batshit insane. She didn't accept the ring. She wanted a $40,000 ring. So she's just thinking about the ring, not the marriage. And God help Shakib if he gets this woman pregnant. she will be at his door, especially if he moves back in with his mother or he gets another girl. This kind of woman is one that would try to take your mom's life or take your life if you're not aware. And self-awareness is very big when you deal with people, especially people of this magnitude. Let's continue.
Boy.
Possessed?
Oh my
Emily,
God.
stop.
She is possessed. She is crazy.
I'm not living with you.
Good job. Good. Oh
Let's,
boy.
let's go.
Possessed?
Oh my
Emily,
God.
stop.
She is possessed.
Let's go back again.
Oh my
Emily,
God.
stop.
She is possessed.
I'm leaving.
Oh boy.
Leaving.
Give him another shot.
Emily, stop. Are you psychotic? Come back. You're gonna fall and break
I
your finger
told
foot.
you.
Ah!
Oh boy.
He said, "Are you psychotic?" That is a form of schizophrenia, or it could be psychotic mentally. This woman needs a shrink. You don't want to put a hand grenade in this woman's hand. She'll blow up the whole house. Guys, don't date Cray Cray. Let's continue.
Possessed?
Oh my
Emily,
God.
stop.
She is possessed.
I'm leaving.
Are you psychotic? Come back. You're gonna fall and break
I
your finger
told
foot.
you.
Again, I'm going back and forth with this video so you can hear. Are you psychotic? Are you psychotic? I'm trying to teach you all something. That behavior, again, the behavior of this woman is very unstable and it is frightening. I wish the key would have asked her, was she on some medication? Let's continue.
Ah!
Oh
Are you
boy.
possessed?
Oh my
Emily,
God.
stop.
She is possessed.
I'm leaving.
Oh
Are you
boy.
possessed?
Oh my
Emily,
God.
stop.
She is possessed. She is crazy.
I'm not living with you.
Good job. Good girl. Now you know.
I'm doing everything I can to convince my mom and Emily that living together is going to be the greatest idea ever. It's my last effort to even save our relationship.
Now she wants the girlfriend and the mom and him to live together. After you saw that Cray Cray, would you want that to happen? Absolutely not. Now, again, Shakib needs to stop trying to put a plan together to get two women who don't see eye to eye together so he can have them both, so he doesn't make either one of these women unhappy. But the plan is not going to work. Now, I can understand the mother protecting her son, but the girlfriend, she would have been in line if she had kept her composure, but she lost it. And she had just shown Shakib and his mom how cray cray she really is. You don't want to be around that if you're a man. And the mom doesn't want to be around that. The mom said she's crazy. Let's continue.
Whatever. And Emily, she was acting like she was possessed. Like my mother was right. Like she was like going through some sort of exorcism.
I'm
Did
so
you hear
scared
that?
of you.
Layla,
Let me
I
run
never
that
want to
back
see
for
you
you
again.
all. Run through some exorcism, like the exorcist.
She was acting like she was possessed. Like my mother was right. Like she was like going through some sort of exorcism.
I'm so scared of you.
Layla, I never want to see you again.
I'm so glad
Stop
that you
talking.
say that. I am so
We're
glad.
never living in this house with you, Layla.
Oh
You
my
don't
gosh.
make the rules, okay?
I am
Come
not
on.
begging for you. Bye. Have a good night.
Majan,
Good night.
Danica, please.
You see? I'll never want to see it, of course. But you want to see that again? That woman snapped. That woman needs a shrink. That woman exposed her behavior. This is what I want to tell us guys. Raise your standards. Don't always look at that big butt and that smile and that long hair. You better dig much deeper than that. Because too many of us, we let certain things go as guys. Now, if that woman had been unattractive, that wouldn't have gone very far. But since that woman had some of the features that guys liked, guys gave it a pass. Most guys would have given that a pass. And you see, her behavior went too far. And that behavior, it could be suicidal. Murder suicides come from behavior like this. Woman is emotionally unstable. She needs therapy. She doesn't need to be in a relationship. Let's continue.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna call her a car.
Say bye to her.
I'm sending her off for now.
She's
Look at the mom. The mom is frightened right now. The mom is. Look at the mom. Let's go back to 6:59 mark.
Say bye to her.
I'm sending her off for now.
She's scary. She made my night. I'm so sorry. She's
Go back.
scary. She made my night. I'm so sorry for Shiki. She's crazy.
She's scary. She made her night. The mom, she's scary. That would you want something haunting you like that? That is scary. Let's continue. Let's play it again.
Sorry for Shiki. She's crazy. She's selfish. She's really complicated. Shiki, please come. Come back, Shiki.
Let's go back.
She's selfish. She's really complicated. Shiki, please come. Gosh.
I'm gonna call her a car.
Say bye to her.
I'm sending her off for now.
Look at the mom.
She's scary. She made my night. I'm so sorry for Shiki. She's crazy. She's selfish. She's really complicated. Shiki, please come. Come back, Shiki.
Now, to my audience, do you think the mom is right by her beliefs, by this woman not being a good woman for her son? Put in the comment section, I'll put a comment up there. But from my humble belief, this woman is cray cray. And when you deal with cray cray, it can turn you cray cray as well. Because cray cray people can be very complicated. And they can be a little insane as well. Let's continue.
You're being incredibly toxic, babe, and that was something that
Let me go back. Well, I can stop the share. But I will tell you, let me give you my point of view. That's a toxic woman. And guys, I'm always going to say this, don't date cray cray. Because when you deal with cray cray, you deal with somebody that can make your life a living hell. Now, she could have had some other adventures happen before she met Shakib. We don't know. That's why issues of mental health, you got to get them checked out. Because I'm going to tell you what, think about Cray Cray Emily. She's going to have Shakib thinking that he's crazy. Sometimes it flips. But in the long run, the bottom line, you got to be careful. You got to be careful with who you date. Now, again, let me go and actually bring up something for you all, and let's talk about psychotic. What is psychotic? Again, this out. What if this woman, let me share my screen again. What if this woman has this? Let's share a psychotic disorder. Now, what is a psychotic disorder? I mean, for her to have that kind of outburst, well, generally, when we deal with psychotic disorders, it's a mind illness. And what happens is when you're trying to think, you can't think critically. You don't understand reality. Your judgments are off. And everything that you respond to is not logical, it's emotion based. And you don't behave appropriately. You don't communicate effectively. Now, again, individuals who have a psychotic disorder, they have a problem with staying in touch with reality. Now, there are different types of psychotic disorders. And the biggest ones that we have, the top three, they start with schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, schizophreniform disorder. Now, when people have schizophrenia, what's included in that is hallucinations and delusions. And generally, they can last longer than 6 months. And it usually affects individuals in their relationships, at work, and at school. Now, when you have a schizoaffective disorder, that really gets a little tough because now you have a mood disorder and you have schizophrenia. And you also have a depression of a bipolar disorder. Now, a schizophreniform disorder is you have the symptoms of schizophrenia, but the symptoms only last for a short time. These are the types. Now, you also have a bipsychotic disorder, and that's when you have a sudden illness that lasts for a short period, because that's basically a short period of psychotic behavior. And usually you have responses when you're in a stressful type of event, such as a death in the family. Now, generally, when it comes to recovery, it is quick. Now you get into something I always talk about, a delusional disorder. This is why I played that video. Basically, you have a false or you have a fixed belief involving a situation that took place in real life, but it might not be true. And what's going to happen, you're going to get paranoia, like you're going to have a sense of being followed, somebody's plotting something against you, or you have a disease. Now, again, I've done delusions, and the types of delusions that you're going to get, you get mood or atmosphere, perception, memory, ideas, and awareness. These are all delusions. Now, again, when we deal with delusion, that's basically a fixed belief or false belief. You feel that you're being followed, stalked, or you feel you have a disease. Then you go and break it down to a shared psychotic disorder, also called a folie à deux, which is French for psychotic disorder. Now, this happens when you have a person who's in a relationship, they have a delusion. And again, remember I told you this early? When somebody's cray, the other person could become cray as well. Well, when you have a shared psychotic disorder, the same thing happens. You may have a person in a relationship that has it, and it can be passed to the other person. Now, you also have a substance-induced psychotic disorder. Again, this is caused by use or the withdrawal from drugs such as hallucinogens, crack cocaine, and these drugs will cause any hallucination, delusion, and of course, confused speech. Now, you see how psychotic is tying into all this? It could be a medical condition as well, like a brain malfunction. And what affects the brain is a head injury. Periphernia, okay? Periphernia has conditions that are basically similar to schizophrenia or delusional disorder. Symptoms, hallucinations, and that also comes from seeing, hearing, or feelings that don't exist, delusions, false beliefs that don't go away, even if they're shown to be false. Like if a person believes their food is poison, a person could believe their food has been poisoned when it isn't. And this is because the person has showed them that the food is fine. They basically have a delusion. They're not seeing the real world. Now, again, when you have psychotic illnesses, this is what generally happens. Your speech is incoherent. Your thinking is confused. You basically have a behavior that is very strange and is dangerous. Your movements are lethargic or slow. Your personal hygiene is getting cut back, or you lose it. You don't have interest in activities. You basically have problems wherever you go, whether it's school, work, or relationships. And you have the inability to express emotion. So basically, you're somebody that is basically detached or cold or rigid. And then you have mood symptoms such as depression or mania. And again, when it comes to causes, doctors don't know the exact of psychotic disorders. Now, again, when it comes to researchers, many things play a role. So basically, some psychotic disorders tend to run in families, which means that the disorder may be partially inherited. So basically, what I'm saying is other things may influence their development, drug abuse, stress, life changes. So people who have certain psychotic disorders such as schizophrenia, they may also have problems in parts of their brain that basically control their motivation, perception, and thinking. So experts believe when it comes to schizophrenia, the nerve cell receptors that work with a brain chemical called glutamate may not work properly in specific brain regions. So this is what I call a glitch, and the glitch is going to cause problem with thinking and perception. So basically, when it comes to people who are young, it's generally in the teens, 20s, or 30s. And when it comes to gender, it affects men and women equally. Okay, now, this is what you have to understand when they diagnose it. They're going to take your family history. So you're going to have a brief physical exam. You're going to have blood tests. You're going to have brain imaging. You're going to have MRI, which is an MRI. And the MRI is basically to rule out any type of physical illness or drugs like cocaine. Now, if any doctor finds no physical reasons, then they're going to refer you to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Now, you got to be careful with some of these therapists too, because the African-American therapist that got fired, you look at some of her videos, she's psychotic herself. She's a therapist who needs therapy. And generally, people are going to be interviewed if there's a problem, because an interview is one of the tools by a mental health professional, basically to decide whether a person has a disorder or not. Again, what you saw Emily, and Emily does have, she looked psychotic. And when it comes to treatment, you can have some psychotherapy and counseling, medication. You can use medicines like Thorazine, Paroxetine, Haldol, Lexitane, Trilofan, Melarul, Amplify, Saphris. Now, remember something, antipsychotics range from old to new, old to new. But generally, when it comes to behaviors, you have to watch people's behaviors. Now, what I just showed you was an example of somebody who had a behavior issue. They need help. And the mother looked frightened herself. Now, I apologize for the error that occurred during the video. At least you got the gist of the video. You saw it. I played it many times back and forth for you so you could understand. So you could look at what I just told you when it came to psychotic behaviors. Even the mother, even the son, they told you. And I'm telling you, that woman is cray. So, at the end of the day, I'm just going to explain this to you all. Don't date cray, because you may end up cray. You have one life to live. And mental health is very big. If you find that you're with a person that has mental health issues, get them help. Or get yourself help. Because, again, individuals with psychotic disorders, they can't speak well, they can't think. Everything is emotional. And when that happens, a person can't think clearly. Now, again, when it comes to medicines, I will say this, medicines will treat symptoms. They will, but you have to constantly take medicines. And when you're on a program, you have to constantly work with the program. Like I said, you live once. And what I saw in this video, and again, I apologize if it may have been a little blurry. Hope you all could hear the audio because I turned it up as loud as I could turn it up. I just wanted you all to catch some of the behaviors that I saw in this video. Because when you're going out here dating, you have to recognize these signs. And it's especially important if you're meeting women and men on dating sites. Yeah, you may have talked to them on the phone, but you haven't seen them in person. You have to get a belief. And that belief is going to come based on a person's actions. How are they living? How do they adapt to different environments? How do they handle different situations? How do they handle it when somebody says no? That's the big thing. A lot of adults today, in my humble opinion, are kids. Chronologically, they're adults, but mentally, they're kids. Why? Because their parents treated them like kids. They were too permissive. They didn't allow them to grow up. They stopped growing mentally. Like you may see a 40 or 50-year-old who acts like a 20-year-old. That's where their mind stopped. They didn't grow any further. They aged, but they had a mental block, and that's an issue. And some of these individuals develop psychotic disorders. Again, it's important that you understand the psychology, what's going on out here. Because looking at behavior, it could affect you. And you have individuals out here who are running around completely normal, or they look normal. But when you actually Look at how they're moving. They're not normal. They need help. I mean, you have individuals out here who just don't look at life very seriously. Some of them don't even know about life. Some of them don't even value life. These are issues, and not many people talk about them. I talk about them because I people watch. Watch what they say, what they do. You know, a number of us watched Kendra G's videos. Now, I don't believe Kendra G is a dating coach because she does not ask the tough questions like I would ask. I believe she's entertainment, but the women who go on her show, you can see them. They're busted. Most of them. They're in their 30s, 40s, and 50s trying to recover from what they messed up in their 20s. But here's the problem. They didn't learn from the first time they messed up. They kept on messing up. And see, that's what Emily did. See, this wasn't the first episode Emily had with Lena, the mother. There's been 4 years of it, and this is why the mother doesn't like Emily. And now in that episode that you saw, you find that Emily's crazy. And because she's crazy and she's exposed herself, she'll never be trusted. And what Shakib did, just to tell you, he moved back with his mother because they had an apartment together, and he even figured it would be safe with his mother. Because if he'd stayed there with Emily, he'd have been verbally abused every day. And if he had taken his hand, smacked her, he would have gone to jail. So the best thing for him to do was to move back with his mother. So what I'm going to tell you all is this. Don't date Cray. Because in the end, if you do, you will be miserable and your life will go down the drain. If you don't believe me, you watch that video that I just presented to you with Lena, Shakib, and Emily from TLC's I Love a Mama's Boy. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. Now, if you're looking for some educational content, check out the QCIS channel, formerly the Mind of STEM channel. On that channel, you get a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. Now, if you can't find the 411 Talk Zone radio show channel or the QCIS channel on YouTube, you can check both of those channels out on Twitter. And also, for the QCIS channel, I take it one step further. Since it's an educational channel, that channel is also posted on LinkedIn. And at the end of the day, I want you to be blessed for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Always know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And I'm going to work the coin on both sides. So some of you may be offended, some of you may not. But just to keep it down the middle, I'm going to tell you this. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if the shoe fits, wear it. If you don't like the shoe, change it. Thank you for listening to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. I'll see you if we'll broadcast next Wednesday. Want to get the support? If I don't, I'll be coming to you with another pre-recorded video. And again, thank you for watching and viewing this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. I want you to have a wonderful and blessed evening. God bless you. I'm out.